you have to put the accurate water that you want to use. After I get the dry paste, I make sure I cook it in a very low heat to fry it dry, and I add the accurate amount of water. Remember, I'm cooking 2 drika. You can see the measurements of the bucket here. I'm cooking it. So this is the accurate water for it. I've already pre-boiled the rice. So I'll be adding the rice directly now. I just want you to see how you should make sure the water boils all round, not boiling in the middle or any other places. It must boil round like this. You can see how red this. I'm not even using flashlight. I'm using auto, and you can see how reddish the rice is. This is how a party jollof rice has to look. The smell is out of here. Even my neighbors were like, "Wow, what are you cooking? Mass coffee cook. We want a portion," and I'm going to be dishing out portion to my lovely neighbors when this is done. Boiling accurate water. All I do right now is to stir it right. After I stir this, I'm going to make sure I use void. If you don't have foil, use a clean poly bag to cover this, because this is jollof rice. It tends to always, get burnt on time. And to avoid some uncooked part of it, you have to steam boil it. Me, I like my own. I steam it. Even despite because this is my pressure cooker, as you are saying, it is a whole pressure cooker. It's no more longer pressuring like before. If you have a pressure cooker, you don't need a foil or nylon. But if your pressure cooker is working like mine, you need that foil or polythene bag to cover it. You steam cook it to make sure to avoid some parts getting undone and some parts getting done. You understand? You understand how Yoruba used to say rice in oti sasawo, which means some side are well cooked and why some other parts are not. So at this point, I'm going to be using my foil or nylon bag to make sure I steam cook this, and the result will be fantastic because it's going to come out just fine. You see, I've already had the accurate what I want. At this point, I would still like to test my seasoning, because when you have the rice, this will give you the accurate how the result is going to be. It's either you need to add a little bit of Maggi or salt or anything to it to make sure you have the accurate taste you want. So I'm going to be checking out for my Maggi or my seasoning cube or my salt. Let's go. Then I'll cover this. After I'm not going to be making. After it's done, I'll make a video where I'll be adding the corn and the green peas, the green peas, the red onions, the green bell pepper, and this my mixture, the corn, the kidney beans, green peas, the natural one that I made. So until then, let's just keep watching Kafaya Lifestyle and Wisdom Mass Coffee Coat and Kafaya Coat of Wisdom all in one package. This is the system I use. I told you like my pressure pot is no more working, so I decided to steam it like this, layer by layer. You can see I decided to use it. Very hot. Oh my days, very hot. So at this point, I want to add my green peas. So what I will do, I'll be raising this side by side. Yes, you do it side by side. Those who are familiar with party jollof rice, you will know this method works a lot. It's already burning. Like jollof rice, party fried rice, always burnt. That smoky feelings of it is the real deal. It has a kind of flavor to it, So you decide to do like this. You stylishly turn it. You can see how the long grain basmati rice is. I use Kumu this time. I don't use Golden Terra because that 5 kg of Golden Terra is more expensive. As I told you, I'm an economist. I learned to manage not only property but my kitchen, my home. Though actually, I could remember my secondary school days. When I finished secondary school, then it was bomb blast. I think early 2021, 2022 then. During that blood, I think before bomb blast or something, it 2000, yeah. My mom took me to one of her aunts. She used to call that woman second mommy. They call her Abby Cave. Abby Cave Catering Service. She's late right now. I don't know if my auntie Bumi will come across this video. I'm saying shout out. Because that's my mommy, second mommy. She used to call her Abby Cave, but I normally call her mommy Abby Cave because that's the name of her brand back then. She stays at UK for a long time. She has almost all her kids at UK. So before she came back to relocate back to Nigeria here. So I stayed with her. She taught me a lot of secrets. She actually deal with baking, cake. That's why I learned how to make cake and some food. I think I learned 1 or 2 things there too. So you can see the way our party jollof rice is already giving. I'm not using flashlights, as I said. I'm using totally auto. So you can see how dark and smoky this jollof rice is. In fact, this food they cause commotion for my area right now. First thing first, I added the preserved bell pepper, the green preserved bell pepper. I added it. I'm going to be adding my spring onions and my red onions later. But at this point, this rice is already ready. But at this point, if you like, you can load the heat and continue to cook. So you have to make sure. I just want to add this green bell pepper to it. It has its own kind of flavor. So I just add it now because I still want it crunchy. I don't want it to melt away. I use half of it. So from the beginning of the video when I was adding the carrot and other veggies. So at this point, I'll be adding let's not forget this. Immediately I added the bell pepper. I'll be adding this mix. I told you, I said I did not use the tin the canned green peas or pellet kidney beans, I go for the natural one that is bought from the farm. So with my sweet corn is bought from the farm. So at this point you add this to it. That onions, the red onions and the spring onions is going to be the last, and that is when I'll be dropping it from the heat, from the fire. So I'm going to still steam this. I know why I'm doing so that all these green peas and the kidney beans and sweet corn can have part and absorb some part of the flavor. You see the way I'm using wisdom to, make sure they have some of the flavor. So you cover it, you turn with wisdom, stand mysteriously. You turn, stand mysteriously, and you do this. You keep, I'm going to steam it back. Then when I have the spring onions and red onions, I'll just scoop and then make sure I turn simultaneously and bring it down if the food is ready in that pattern. This meat, I decided to, soak it into the sauce a little. That's why you see the face of the meat change automatically. I soaked this in the stew, in the mix when I was cooking the sauce before. I soak it a little bit. So that's how I'm going to be. Some people will be wondering why lot of rice and little meat. Well, I have a fish, a grilled fish that I'll be giving out to some guests later. So my Mr. P will really like his chicken, and I'm always specific when it comes to his chicken. So yeah. Here we have the ready party smoked, garnish with top of coconut oil jollof rice. You can see it. How is this giving though? If I'm not being biased, I think for me this is 10 over 10 over 10 to any other jollof rice I've made before, because it's totally extreme, So now this goes in all at once, and I'm going to be trying to mix this together simultaneously, the way I said, gradually, circular motion, without you see all the oil, everything is in normal proportion. So you see, I'm going to be mixing it in circular motion. In fact, this rice here, if I'm to cook this rice for a client, I will be taking less for my stress. I will be taking less than probably 100k. Yes, if I'm the one producing the whole ingredients, I'll be taking 100k for this. Yes, in Nigerian currency. If I'm the one producing the whole ingredients, I won't take less than 100k for this portion, because apart from the sketch, the amount of ingredients, the timing, the effort, the energy put in this is not for impatient individual. As I've said from the beginning of the video, this is not your regular jollof rice where you just mix and mix now. This takes patience to produce the sauce. You know how many times I put it on low heat, eyeing the heat again, controlling the rhythms of the heat to get the right accurate results that this turned out to be. So you can see, it's not your, as I said, it's not your regular party jollof rice. This is different, totally different from what you can get anywhere. And I'm bringing this live and direct to you. So you can, if you want to do something like this, you have to be patient. You can see how far the video is, step by step on how to do this without getting tired. Now we have our garnished party jollof rice with a touch of coconut oil ready. So what is your judgment, my fellow judges? How do you see this wonderful masterpiece? The comment section are open for conversation, and thank you for all my subscribers, those who have been watching my videos, following this recipe, following me, listening to me with my little wisdom, as I always say. Well, not so little, at Kafaya, quotes of wisdom, Kafaya lifestyle, art, and wisdom. Masterful cook. Here you have it. Here you have it. I decided to dish this food in 2 ways. The normal posh ways. Is it its way for you, or the normal Nigeria way of dishing this? In Nigeria, we like to eat our food like mountain. See the way I dish my own. I'm not going to eat it more. Can imagine? And look at Mr. P. I told you I'm specific with this chicken, and this particular area he likes to eat. It's not all part of chicken he likes. In fact, he doesn't like the flesh. So you see. So which one do you prefer? This or this?